entrepreneurship may not be for everyone. This is what I feel. You need to carry some kind of struggles before, or some kind of setbacks that you had, where you can want to overturn that setback. Because if your life is rosy all the way, it's gonna be tough.
That's not entrepreneurial life.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like, you have to be okay to work with challenges, right? And again, that mindset of never giving up is so important.
I felt so useless at that point in time. I felt like I put them down. I've really disappointed them. I don't know how I'm going to pay their salaries at the end of the month. I don't know whether the company can continue on without me. I felt the lowest of the low I've ever felt. So today we have a very interesting guest, my client, Mr. Irfan Mustafa from Master Maths
Education Center.
Master Maths Education Center Private Limited. Because I always remember M2. Yeah, right. So M2, I don't think that's the right name.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Master Maths Private Limited. So Irfan here, I think the interesting thing about what he does is he produces brilliant kids that actually jump their grades. From they may be struggling for PSLE and everything, but he manages to push them all the way and unleash their potential, and they get really good grades for the exams. And I think that's one of the most interesting things about what he does. At the same time, I've met his team as well, and I also had the privilege of watching some of the videos on some of his students, and he has very interesting students as well. And I think one of them is visually impaired, right?
Yes.
Visually impaired doing mathematics and PSLE. Wow, amazing, man. So this is my introduction of Irfan. Let's hear from you and yourself and the company as well, bro.
Hello everyone, good day. Which camera do I look at, by the way?
That one.
Son.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, good day. I'm Irfan here, or what my students call me Coach Irfan. I'm from the Master Maths Education Center Private Limited, where we actually help students with their mathematics, mainly for preparation of the national exams, PSLE, O-levels, and levels. And we start as soon as primary 1 all the way to P6, and then we also have a secondary program as well. Yes.
Awesome, man. From P1, bro.
P1, yes. As early as 7 years old, where they start counting, we help train them.
Is it pressurizing or this?
For students, we try and make it exciting for them, right? The pressures may come from the parents. Yeah, but for the students themselves, the lower primary kids, we incorporate a lot of games for them, mathematics games, and that lightens the load for them. When they come for lessons, it's not so intense. Yeah, but at the same time, we make sure that they come in, they come out with that good mathematics skills for each and every lesson.
Is mathematics the main core of your offering?
Yes, it is. So this is something that we started off with, and then we recently ventured into science as well. We also have an English program also. But again, our bread and butter here is really the mathematics program that we have for our students.
I think there's some notable parents in the sense that you are currently helping the kids out.
Yes.
So I think I remember one of our clients is with you as well. Nofa Sari and Mr. Bai Haki.
Yes, that's right. So Kak Nofa and Abang Bai, they have been with us for a year now. For all their children except Myla. Myla is the youngest one. I think she's K1 this year. K1 or pre-K1, yeah. So Muaz is primary 3. And then we have Moza, who's Sec 2. And then Mika just completed his ends and level. And the thing about Mika was that he had to really, really manage his time really well. And he did a fantastic job for his N-levels. Yeah, so he had to almost to the point of sacrificing his national squad position in the under 16, I guess, and this came out in the news and all,
Yeah.
So he wanted to really pursue his studies, but at the same time, he didn't want to let his football down, so he had to balance both.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm very happy that you're part of their success as well.
Yes.
Awesome, bro. Okay, so in our BC podcast, right, we want to unravel the real Irfan Mustafa.
Inshallah.
The business owner, the entrepreneur, the boss. So I'm going to go through some segments and find out as much as we can. I think there's a lot of lessons that we can learn, and that's especially from your experience.
Mhm.
So let's go into your origin story, lah.
Yes.
So how did you start? Why why you want to do maths, bro? Yeah.
So why I started, okay, this goes all the way back to my secondary school days lah. You know, when I was in school in P6, before secondary school in P6, I was a very playful boy. Very playful to the extent of skipping school. No, but I was fortunate enough to get into Sec 1, into a decent neighborhood school. And then in Sec 1, things took a bad turn again lah. First year of school, new friends, and new bad habits again. So this was where, in my very first report card, I did very badly lah. And back then, they used to put class positions in the result slip. Not sure about yourself. Did they put?
They did that as well as for the whole school, the whole cohort.
Yes, level position, they call it, right?
Yes.
So for me, that happened as well. And I got top 5 from the bottom in the class. So that was my very first report card. I had to bring it back to my parents. It was very embarrassing. And I had to get my dad to sign, not my mom, because she would be so disappointed if she had signed that. So that was a very bad start to secondary school. But there were some things that happened along the way in my study journey in secondary school, and some changes in habits. I started to follow the right friends. So environment is very important, right? Not just in school, but also after that as well. And I overturned the grades. In Sec 4, I got the double A's for maths, and then I got first in class.
Wow.
You know, so this journey, right? I wanted to share with more people. So I went to JC as well, Nanyang JC. I served my NS, and then I went to study engineering in NTU. I got first class honors as well. So all of this journey, right? After NTU, I got a job with ExxonMobil, which is an oil and gas company.
Yeah.
But in Exxon, they don't care about your grades. They only care about oil. So there wasn't a platform for me to share with people that, hey, you know, if you change your mindset early on, good things can happen for you as well. So this is the journey that I wanted to share with more people. So I started to teach, right? I was in MOE as a relief. I went to Sinda to teach. I went to Mendaki to teach. And I even had like home tuition assignments where I went to students' houses, you know, and that's where I found that, hey, I really like this thing, you know, to spread knowledge and to help people. So that's where we I decided to actually start Master Maths, which was like how many years ago? About 10 years ago. But that was, again, the first few years was really part-time because I was still juggling my job. And then about 8 years ago was when I went in full force on this venture.
So aside from going to students' houses, right?
Mhm.
Do you ever started like home-based business or something? Like get kids to come over?
Okay, I
and
had
so
students to come over my house, but again, that was like really just maximum, maybe 3 kids at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, or mostly at 1, 2, 3 like that, you know. So it's not like really a big group lah. Yeah, so it was really like home tuition 1-to-1 or in Mendaki, Sinda, and all these places lah.
So your inspiration to do this business basically stems from you wanting to spread knowledge, lah.
Yes, correct. And again, based on my own personal journey, it was really something personal. But now it's something that I really wanted to help more people with this story and with some good habits. You know, they can also change their lives.
Awesome, bro. So maybe you can share with us also what are some of the biggest challenges you faced when you first started this business.
Yeah. So you see, the thing about starting a business, right? We always feel that, you know, we are good in teaching. I'm good in teaching. I mean, I love teaching, you know, teaching students, and even, you know, at times even bringing the parents in. You know, I love that process. But to start a business is a totally different game altogether. You know, it's not just about teaching. It's about managing not just people, but processes as well, and making sure everyone is aligned, the politics that comes with it, you know. So for me, the biggest challenge was really to get a good grasp of how to deal with people, how to deal with processes and the likes. Yeah. So that was the main thing. And also to get students in. You may be the best, like example, the best doctor, but nobody knows about you. No one in the world knows about you. You may be the best accountant, but no people knows about you.
Yeah.
Or a good teacher, and nobody knows about you. So the marketing as well, you know, that aspect had to come in where you had to share with people good value, and people see that good value, and then they come in and they want to join you as well.
So what was the biggest challenge that you faced? Was it about the marketing part, or was it getting people to actually, you know, be aligned with your vision in their students? Or
For me, right, there were a lot of challenges now, of course. You know, when you run a business, there's like, I could say like every day there's some issues, some challenges, you know, whether it's people, processes, or some communication gaps, or some curriculum gap, some notes issue, all kinds of problems may happen, But at the start, the biggest hurdle for me, because I see myself as an introvert, right? All my life. Even in later part of school years, like uni and all, I wouldn't be brave enough to present, But now, at the start of the business journey, I had to show my face to people. I had to take video, right? I had to talk in front of the camera, sometimes do live stream. So that stepping out of the comfort zone, right, was the toughest at first, right? To really become a little bit more extroverted when it comes to talking and video taking and all. But again, that was something that I learned along the way. So over the past decade and all, inshallah, I've improved there as well. But that was the starting challenge to really step out of your comfort zone, take a phone, okay, and film yourself. That's the part that was so tough in terms of marketing at first. But once we did it, right, once I did it a few times, it became like, okay, this is not that difficult.
Yeah, I think a lot of people struggle with this.
Yeah.
That's true. Along the way, right, with these challenges in mind, and I think I like the point that you made. Actually, challenges are always there.
Yeah.
It's always coming, right? But how, was there a certain moment you realize that, okay, you know what? Despite everything, I can do this. This is going to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I always picture myself in the shoes of people who are like in desperate situations, not necessarily just businessmen or business owners. Like people in general, there are some people out there in the world. I mean, Singapore is just one red dot, right? There are some people out there in the world who are so desperate, but yet they survive every day. They thrive. They are able to provide for their families. But over here, we have so much opportunities. Now, despite all these problems may seem big for us, but to others' eyes, okay, this is just a small issue, no worries, So that kind of, like when I imagine myself in their shoes, it sort of motivates us, or gives you that push that, okay, if this person, this family in a dire situation, they can do it. What more us with all these tools and, with all these opportunities, we can definitely overcome these hurdles. Yeah.
So that makes you look towards others in that sense.
Yes. Well, in the worst off position. And, if they are like every day they're surviving, they're able to thrive and again provide for the people around them, we can do it also.
So, okay, I get it. I think when you do it yourself, you compare to others. If they can do it, they can overcome it. So can you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's an internal motivation kind of thing. Okay, bro. So I'm going to ask you, in your business, right, there's a lot of decisions we made. I think every day you're making decisions. And of course, as an accountant, I think numbers matter a lot. Financial clarity is important when you make decisions because ultimately business is a numbers game.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you some numbers questions.
Yeah,
numbers to be fine with you, bro.
Yeah, inshallah.
You're doing maths, bro. So, all right. So as an accountant, as your accountant,
Yes.
I often say numbers tell the story of the business. What are the numbers that you look at, you pay attention to, that help guide you making decisions?
To run a business, definitely without numbers, it's very hard. You have to understand your numbers. So for us as a tuition center, in order to help more people, because what we do here is we give a lot of value to our students. On top of their once a week class, we also add on other things along the way. So for us to do more of this value addedness, we need to have good numbers coming in. Otherwise we cannot grow the business. We cannot help more people. And again, many a times people will think that business is like some negative thing, but actually we are really here to help people. That's our ultimate goal. And for us, a very key metrics that we look at is how many people are we serving? How many families are we serving? Meaning, the enrollment for each center. We have 4 centers, Tampines, Jurong, Farrer Park, Woodlands. In each of these centers, are we having a healthy number of enrollment? Right? To cover the costs, because we have rental costs, we have overheads as well for staff. We have to print the notes, we have to pay electricity, all right, and some other things as well to run one center. So for that one location, whether we have a good number to sustain those costing, right? And that's something that I look at a lot in terms of enrollment numbers. And of course, to sustain this enrollment or to maintain this enrollment or to grow this enrollment, we need to have a good capture system at the front end. Are we having enough leads at the front? Are we having enough people who are our students who are coming in to experience the class in a free trial? So because if we have these healthy numbers, then our enrollments for each and every center, it will be good and we can then serve our ultimate purpose, which is to help more people. Yes.
Cool. So
hopefully that answers your
yes,
question.
more or less it does. the key thing that you mentioned is your enrollment numbers, because this is your, I would say, I mean, in accounting, there's a thing called cost volume profit. So this is an analysis of what is the minimum number of volume
Yes.
of transactions that you require.
Quantity, basically.
Yeah, quantity, in order for you to make a profit.
Understand.
So to sustain the business, you need X number of students for this location,
Right.
and X number on a whole
Yes.
whole basis for the whole company.
That's right. That's right.
So I think that's very, very important.
And just to add on as well, like because we also have an office, right? These numbers must be enough to also sustain that office,
Yes.
and the staff who's managing that office as well, not just our branch managers, but also our accounts overhead, our operations manager overhead, and all these other very important functions in the company.
Including your cost as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, yes.
So because I also need to sustain myself
Yeah,
as well, right? To run the entire
So,
thing. Yeah.
This will be, in terms of indirect expenses in that sense. Awesome, bro. So I think because you've run the business for 10 years, 10 years plus,
Approximately,
right?
yeah.
Right. So I think when you look at your number of students, you are able to tell already, if you have this certain number of students,
Yeah.
everything
safe.
can be covered.
Correct.
In a sense.
Yeah, so there's an X number of students that will push us into the safe zone. So that's the target that we have every single year. So if we grow another center, like let's say we have a fifth center, then we will have to prorate that number, right? You have to prorate that number. And if, for example, we want to serve more, then again, even prorate even more.
Yeah. Understand. So I think these are very key things to consider.
Yep.
So if you run a business, there are direct expenses, there are indirect expenses. Ultimately, there is a certain driver which you need to actually worry about. So for Irfan, it's the number of students.
Yes.
So the number of students, and based on his experience and looking at indirect and also direct expenses, both, he has a certain magic number below which cannot sustain.
Yes.
It must be above, and he has the green zone, the safe zone.
That's
which
right.
will be highly profitable.
But again, the safe zone, coach, it's really something that we try and break even first. And then to go further into the green zone, we have to do a little bit more for our people. Yeah.
And I'm sure you're running as a private limited, right? So do you actually look at your financial reports? Like, your year-end reports, or maybe your monthly, your quarterly, management accounts and all that. Do you look at that?
Yeah, so this is something that is so important. As a business owner, you have quite a number of things to juggle, and there's so many functions to take a look at. Not just the teaching. Teaching is so important as well for our students. But to have a good experience, we need to make sure the operations team is also on point. We have to make sure that we are able to sustain ourselves. The accounts must be on point. Sales and marketing as well. So as a business owner, we often have to juggle all of these things, including our own mindset, and making sure that the company stays afloat, do well. All right. And then next year can do even better. All of these things, and the people management as well. So at times, to scrutinize on this financial report, right? Personally, this is my weakness, right? But something that I'm learning how to actually delegate time, right? How to delegate time and priority to look at this, so that numbers become something that I study often. Yeah, because again, the priorities have to shift, right? To studying the financial report a little bit more.
Actually, I appreciate your honesty on this.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of business owners who, I would say, they struggle to look at the financial numbers. And the reason is because either they're not done on time, or, for them, there are other cost drivers. Like you mentioned number of students.
Yes.
For example, an F&B business owner will be thinking about number of plates,
Yes.
for example.
Yes.
Or how many hours they operate, turnover of tables, many other numbers as well.
Correct.
So this financial numbers is another stack of responsibility to worry about.
I mean, it's a very important stack, but again, this is something that personally I don't foresee myself. I don't see myself looking at it. Like, at least for this year, I didn't see myself looking at it. It wasn't like in the priority list. But moving forward, if I were to want to take this to the next level and all, that is something so important.
Actually, no worries. I think what we are working together on, right, in terms of your numbers and everything, we do have meetings that we will talk about this, and also go deeper into the numbers you have prepared.
Yes.
So I think if those of you who are running a business, those of you listening in, if you are busy like Mr. Irfan as well, but importantly, get the numbers done.
Yes.
Right? And get help from your accountant. Make sure that you can talk to them about it, and at least can help you make better decisions.
Yeah, definitely. And Accounting Superhero, we are very fortunate to have them as well to help us, because internally, to hire a staff to manage these compliance issues like the tax issue, reporting and all, for a small company like ours, is going to cost. So it's best to, the decision that we made was to really outsource these things to accounting superior. And you guys have been helping us churn out the reports, the GST submissions and all. So that helps take a huge burden from us. Yeah. So that helps.
So far, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Because again, we don't want to focus too much on the compliance issue because we are running a business, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, I cannot discount the fact that, or the importance of looking at the report myself, right? To study where are we spending the money and where can we improve in terms of our numbers now.
Have you ever used your numbers, whatever is available for you, use your numbers to actually reveal a hidden opportunity? Like, hey, there's another location that I think I can expand into, right? And then when you look at your numbers, and you'll find, okay, actually we have sufficient reserves. Hey, based on the past 3 years performance, we are doing quite okay. It makes sense for us to actually expand now, or maybe no. Has this helped you like unveil any opportunities?
Definitely. I think there's definitely a lot of opportunities when you look at your numbers. One is, for example, a very quick example is like, how much does it take to bring a family in, right? X amount of dollars, right? To bring a family into our system and to ensure that we deliver the right benefits for them, right? There's a dollar value attached to that, right? So recently, as an example, let's say if we were to increase that amount of expenditure or that amount of investment, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Like your marketing cost, is it?
Yeah. Okay. So if we increase that, right, then what happens? If more families come in, then perhaps that's an opportunity for us to even grow further and help more people as well. So this is one area where the financial reporting becomes very important because you can see this marketing expense. It's all there in the reports, right? You can see like, okay, if for example this increases, what happens to the enrollment numbers? Yeah, so this is pretty important.
So you look at the relationship between your expenses to your income.
Yes. And enrollment numbers, of course.
Enrollment numbers. Yeah. So the elasticity between how much you spend on marketing versus how much of a spike you can actually get from enrollment as well.
Yes.
Fantastic, bro. Fantastic.
But again, that comes with other challenges. Like, you have to manage those numbers that's coming in, right? And manage them with good quality. So you don't want to compromise the quality.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'm sure you don't look at your numbers as a year-end event kind of thing, lah. Right? I think you're past that already. So what would you say to business owners out there who are currently in that stage? Like basically numbers are done year-end and then it's just for compliance, submit to income tax or AFRA, and then that's it.
Well, it can be quite a dangerous thing if you do that. If the business owners were to just look at it really just once a year, I mean, by then it may be too late, right? Because the problems have already accumulated throughout the whole 12 months. Then at the end, you get these numbers and then you look at it once and you feel it's okay, but actually along the way, there's some issues that's happened. So perhaps it's best to have it at least once in 2 months, or quarterly, at least, to study these reports that you're getting. Awesome. To see where you are bleeding or where there's opportunity even. And we spoke of opportunities because there may be opportunities that lies within your reporting, right, that you may miss out. And then the next year you keep missing out if you just look at it once a year.
This podcast has been brought to you by Accounting Superhero, your trusted partner for Zero and SME compliance in Singapore and Malaysia. Switch up to Accounting Superhero today.
Actually, I think it's in line with your status as GST registered company, right? So definitely every 3 months, accounts needs to be closed. It needs to be tallied up and then anything needs to be paid will be paid, right?
Yeah, correct. So
at the very least 3 months.
That's right. 3 months is so important. And again, the GST is 9%. Almost a double figure percentage, almost 10%. And this is not a very small amount. So, if you're a business owner, you're GST registered, the more you should study this. And because you don't want to be paying unnecessarily because there are some parts of your expenses perhaps that could have been claimed. Because if you're GST registered, you can claim your GST. And if you don't submit these invoices with GST, your expenses, you lose out. And sometimes it can go up thousands of dollars.
True. Actually, this is one aspect of cash flow management, actually. So I advise my clients when they actually tend to become GST registered, right? We should really look into their vendors.
Okay.
You know, like for example, they should switch vendors to GST registered vendors as well. Because why? You can claim the input GST, and it's actually a cash flow exercise. Because what happens is you will then pay lesser to the GST department.
Yes.
So it helps, like, in a way.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Let's go a bit deeper into how you're working together with Accounting Bureau. Okay, so can share with us how you first heard about our company, bro, about Accounting Bureau, and
Actually, sorry to interrupt you.
no,
Sometimes,
no worries. Yeah, it's basically how the first hear about us and what made you decide to work with us.
Actually, I first did not hear about Accounting Superhero. I heard about Fazluddin,
Oh, okay.
right? Because Muhammad Fazluddin was or is still a friend of mine on Facebook.
Inshallah.
Yeah, so like it was many years ago. I think this was like, I don't know, about 8 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago. So I saw that you were doing a lot of accounting works, and then I was like starting up and I needed some accounting advice. So I actually DM Muhammad Fazluddin, right, who's my coach now, Coach Faz. And he actually asked me to come to his office, right? Because his daughter was taking the PSLE back then. And then he wanted to see like this book that I had, you know. But unfortunately, I did not go to his office. So recently what happened was I really had to tighten up our accounts now, company accounts. So that was like 4 years ago. And I had to approach him again. And that was when I really deep dive into Accounting Superhero, which was approximately 4 years ago, to get their help on compliance, like, you know, reporting, income tax issues, and all these things lah. So yeah, that was the backstory lah.
I see. So your decision to
And one more thing, can I
Yeah.
add? And another thing I found out along the way was that my elder brother, Iqbal, who is director for AAT Trading Hub, is also acquainted to Coach Faz as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last time we were riding buddies, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
motorbike.
Motorbike.
I see. It's nice.
Nice. So what made you decide to work with us? As in, what do you see in
Well, I see a lot of proven track record, you know, of real businesses, testimonials from big companies as well, who have given raving reviews about everything that you guys have done. And I think what sealed the deal for me was that you guys were like Zero partners for the invoicing system. And Zero is a very big invoicing company. They work with a lot of accounting firms. And for you guys to be, is it a gold? I can't remember. Is it gold partner? Yeah, gold partner. It's for you guys to be gold partner. It takes a lot lah. And not everyone can achieve that status with a huge invoicing system that works with so many accounting firms. Yeah.
All right, good. So what's the experience been like so far?
I think your team have been very kind. That's so important, right? They advise us tremendously. Basically, I find that they give without asking. That's so important for any service provider, right? Like when you ask them something, they just give it to you, you know. Of course, there are some things that you guys are running as a service, but even then, sometimes you guys are just like, you know, you're happy to help us out. Yeah, so that is the experience that I've had and the team as well. And anytime like we are doubtful about anything, you know, like you guys are like the go-to persons or the go-to service providers where we can ask any accounting knowledge. Because accounting practices in Singapore is like, there's a lot of rules and laws and all, right? So for us, we don't specialize in that. So it is important to have you guys with us as a partner.
Nice. And I think, Irfan, you're also our coachee in the Masters of the Day program, right?
Yes, MOTD, yes.
How did you decide to actually embark on this journey?
Yeah, so I think I've been with the MOTD for how many years, Coach? 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
2 years plus approximately. So I just needed someone who is like, who has walked the talk, right? Who has gone through the journey as well. And to also like network with people as well. That's so important in the world of business. So to get such opportunities and to learn from, again, someone who has actually gone through the business cycle, who have employed staff, who's GST registered, right? All of these things, not many people out there are like that. So that is why I wanted to work with you on the MOTD. And then also to have someone to be like, because as a business owner, there's no one who's like going to check on you. No one. You check on yourself.
Accountability.
Yes, that's right word, right? So I wanted someone who at least like, you know, give me that push and accountability every month. Have you done this? Have you done that? You know, what's next month? You know, of course, I see my brothers as very big mentors, if you're hearing this. And of course, my family as well, their support and all. But outside of this, right, you know, I wanted someone who is like going to push me without having that comfort zone. Yeah.
You are a coach as well in your business,
Yes.
right? So, you know, at the same time in the business scene, there are a lot of coaches out there.
Okay.
There are mentors out there. And everything,
Yes.
right? So, for a fact, I don't even call myself a coach.
Mhm.
I'm just probably doing mentorship a little bit, just helping other business owners make sure they stay on track.
Yep.
And then they have a good plan
Yeah.
for at least 1 to 3 years,
A good business plan.
and they stick to it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Because my interest is I want them to grow lah.
Mhm.
Right. So what do you see in MOT that is, I guess, maybe different from what
Yeah,
you
so-
described in terms of what's available out there? Lah, in
There,
that sense?
there are lots of gurus out there, lah. Self-proclaimed gurus, right? Whether it's overseas or even locally, right? It's a lot. But again, one thing that is so important, right, to be a business coach is that have you done it or not? Like, have you gone through the journey? Have you gone through the struggles from A to Z? Not from M to Z, like really from the start, building this up. Now, how did you start your journey? Coach Faz, maybe you want to explain a little bit story,
Can.
right? Like how do you start? Like, the struggles that you faced and all. I wanted to know and learn from that.
Can. I think after this we'll do one segment. Yeah. I
So-
will share with you.
Yeah, so like, that struggle Coach Faz has gone through, despite all the challenges of everything. Like he's built a business, and now the business is in Singapore. There's a JB office as well. And how many years have you done this, Coach?
25 years.
25 years, yes. There's a statistics that says like X percentage of business go out of business after 5 years or something. I can't remember the percentage. Right? So many businesses go out of business after
80%.
Yeah, so many. 80% means 4 out of 5 businesses go out of business after just a few years of operation. And you managed to beat that. Yeah, so this is something that I value from anyone who's able to do that. And if you're doing coaching, well, there's a win-win situation for me to learn from.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, cool, bro. I on my side, I dua and I'll do my best to to help business owners as well, including yourself. And I truly believe those who join the MOTD group, right? Ultimately they've got a certain X factor lah.
Yeah.
They got something that they're offering which is amazing, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and their mission is actually very big,
Yes.
which I think I can see from you as well. No? So,
Alhamdulillah.
inshallah.
And sorry, just to add also, like, joining a coaching program like yours will definitely give you shortcuts along the way. So it's either you spend years learning that shortcut or you learn it in that 1 hour per month.
So far, you got shortcuts along the way?
Definitely. Definitely shortcuts is so important. Like even like when we wanted to set up an office or any like tuition center, you want to open a branch and all. There's so many processes that you can either learn on your own. Can be done, no problem. But you will have to go through the time lah. And time is so precious.
One thing you cannot
Never get time, but get back time. But you can, inshallah, earn some money back lah.
Yeah.
The investment that you have here.
Yeah, I agree, man. Okay, now I want to go into this part where we talk about the no good, the bad, and the ugly.
Whoa,
Okay.
guys.
So I'm gonna ask you, was there a point in your business where during the journey, right, there was something happened which is so difficult, so traumatizing that it haunted you for many years to come?
Wow.
Tell me what happened and how you felt at that point in time.
There's so many challenges that happens. There's a saying that goes in business, as long as you have 2-3 people in the company, problems will start already. But obviously, people, they sometimes can be a problem, but oftentimes they are the solution as well. So challenges, so many along the way. But if you were to ask me to name one, perhaps I can name one out of that so many, okay, which happened. This one was a few years back. I cannot recall which year was this because I'm trying to not think about it so much. It was with one of our coaches because we work with a lot of freelance coaches. We have full-time teachers as well, but the majority of our teaching force are freelance coaches. They are really handpicked, like they go through interviews with myself and we also monitor their teaching as well. So we monitor their teaching and all. So there's this process that happens lah. But still, at the end, you may find that there are some issues, of course, there may be some issues. And freelance coaches, they have their own full-time jobs. Many of them are like, they are passionate about teaching, right? They're passionate about teaching, but they don't want to become full-time teachers. They want to maintain their jobs, So as such, they are only remunerated when they teach. When you teach, you get paid, by the session. This session is X amount. So what happened with one of these teachers? Okay, let's name her Mrs. Apple. Mrs. Apple,
Sounds like a problem solver, bro.
Yeah, sounds like a problem sounds with watermelons. 500 watermelons. Okay, now, so Mrs. Apple was working in a different industry altogether, not education at all. But she wanted to do this because she likes teaching, and she also wanted to share with students like her background and her good academic journey. So with Mrs. Apple, again, freelance coach, by right, you're only supposed to be paid like when you come and teach. So again, this was many, many years ago. Unfortunately, we had to ask her to leave because while she was teaching, she was eating, she was teaching the students and then she was eating. And this happens like so regularly, despite after, warning her and all. And then besides that, when we monitored her class, because we do class monitoring as well through recordings, our lessons are all recorded. When we monitored her class, we found that her class was really monotonous, right? Really monotonous to the point where students, right, they really didn't like enjoy, because all our lessons, they need to be filled with fun as well, Of course, not fully, but we need to infuse some humor and all as a teacher, Yeah, so we had to ask her to stop teaching, right? But unfortunately, she took it really negatively as a freelance coach, and she wanted to be remunerated for classes that she did not teach.
Okay. That's
Right.
a bit weird, right?
It's a bit weird, right? Because you already have your full-time job. And again, we had a black and white. The black and white with her was that you will only be remunerated for lessons that you teach. Okay. Second, there was another clause that says that if either party wants to terminate, there has to be a 1 month notice. So these two clauses kind of conflicts each other.
Okay.
On one hand, I'm telling you that I'll pay you only when you teach. On the other hand, I'm telling you that you need 1 month notice, right? So she was banging on the idea that, hey, you didn't give me a 1 month notice and you are not paying me for the next 1 month as a freelance coach, right? So what happened was this issue became quite big for our company, right? That there were some proceedings that had to be done.
This is at MYM level or?
This is at above MOM level. So she actually went to claim against us, which again, like I found it ridiculous because all freelance coaches out there, they know that they are paid by the session. But this is a learning for us. It's a learning for us. So ultimately, we had to settle with her. And the big learning for us is really to strengthen your black and white, right? Really to make sure that your documentations, your processes are.
So she managed to prove that she was an employee.
She managed to prove that we owed her the 1 month. Yeah, so this was the challenge.
Okay.
But again, throughout this episode, right, I really took it really positively that we had to fix our systems.
Understand.
And we should not of course we should trust people. But again, sometimes when as a business owner, you try to do good for someone, like give them opportunities, but it may
still come back to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quite tough, huh? 1 month notice.
Yeah.
So you have to pay for the 1 month ultimately.
Right. That's right. For all her classes that were planned.
So it was still based on the classes which she was supposed to teach.
She's supposed to teach, yeah.
Okay. She was actually not so bad. Okay. I think that's a good
So that was
a good experience.
It's an experience. Like as I've shared, that as a business owner, there's so many things you got to take note. So many things. Like, as a teacher, who would think about the black and white so much? Only a business owner would think about that. Or a lawyer, perhaps.
That's true. That's true. Was there a moment during that time that you felt like giving up? Like, oh my God, I have to go to MYM, prove myself. These things.
Well, I really took it as a learning. Really as a learning. And I didn't want to give up on anything. Because again, the business back then was also relying on stuff, other full-time stuff. And as a business owner, once you start employing people, your work is not just for you. You are also having to support families who are relying on you.
Yep.
So if you give up, then what's going to happen to them?
Yep, that's so true.
Right?
I think I like your mentality, bro. Positivity is very important.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Okay. In relation to this episode, right? If you could turn back time, go back to the Irfan Mustafa which was doing this earlier, what would you tell yourself?
Doing what? Sorry, coach.
If this thing that happened, right? Like, I mean, with regards to your freelance stuff, and then there's this clause and everything, right? What would you tell your earlier self and advice that maybe would have made the decision better, or to avoid this kind of mistakes from happening or something?
Yeah, actually, I would have given her the opportunity to serve one more month to teach with us. And to try and change the habits that she had, right?
Exactly.
So that was the learning for me. Or alternatively, I would have just settled the 1 month with her.
In advance at that point in time. Like,
that's it. You don't have to worry so much anymore. But then again, it's a learning Every business owner, I feel they are at different stages of the game. It's a game, right? Different levels. And so perhaps back then I was like, this level and all. Yeah. Things will improve, inshallah, along the way. If you don't give up, of course.
These are good points. I want to ask you to share some of your advice, in terms of your leadership and your mindset. There are, when we look at other entrepreneurs, there's always this perception that there are some entrepreneurs you can see they're really doing very well, and others, when you look at them, you can see they're also struggling as well. So what do you think separates these two groups? Yeah.
Question, man.
So it's about perception. It's about what they portray as well, and how you interpret it.
I think entrepreneurship may not be for everyone. This is what I feel. You need to carry some kind of struggles before, or some kind of setbacks that you had, where you can want to overturn that setback. Because if your life is rosy all the way, it's going to be tough.
That's not entrepreneurial life.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You have to be okay to work with challenges. And again, that mindset of never giving up is so important, that persistence, because sometimes you are persistent, but nothing happens. Really, nothing happens. You won't see anything. But you have to understand that you are building something. You're building a sandcastle, perhaps. It takes time.
Okay, it's a work in progress.
It's work in progress every single day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how has your mindset towards money and growth evolved over time? Maybe at one point in time you thought, having a certain car would be a status of growth.
Yes.
Or status of money, perhaps. Maybe now your thoughts might be different. I don't know. So how is your mindset? What's your mindset like?
Okay, so for me, passion is one thing. I mean, I like teaching. But there's something that I like even more than teaching, which is the spirit of excellence. That spirit of excellence is something that I value every single day. And I always encourage my staff to always give their best as well. Teaching staff, even the office staff as well. Right? That mindset is so important for me. Right? More than the skill set. Skill set can be learned, no problem. Right? But that mindset of excellence, commitment to excellence is really vital. Did I answer your question? Or
Yes. I think your mindset is about the spirit of excellence. Ultimately, it's about, doing the best, always pushing yourself to the next level, even through adversity, through challenges and everything. I get it, bro. I think it's something that we all go through as well. How about any material wealth? Does it actually, what's your view on it?
My view is that for material wealth, right, there's only so much we can attain. And so much that we need as well to survive, right? I mean, how much do we need to buy food or to feed our family and all, right? Of course, that's important. It's so important. That's basic necessities. But more than that, right, I don't find much joy in chasing after these things one after another, because it will never end. It will never end. I mean, if you want a Merc, okay, that's fine. But after a Merc, what? A Porsche, then a Lambo, then what's next? Where does it stop?
Where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line, right? I mean, perception again, right? Some people are okay with the Merc. Okay, that's fine. Makes you happy. That's fine.
So I guess it's about what you yourself are happy with.
Yes.
Okay. It's not
the perception.
About measuring yourself with someone else and say, okay, this fella has this. Now I to show I'm better than you, I need to go and do something else.
And who do you compare yourself against? Why do you compare yourself with that guy and not Elon Musk? Right? The comparison will never end.
Yeah.
Betul tak, Coach?
Totally agree, 100%. All right, bro. Is there a lesson about business or leadership you wish you'd known earlier?
Okay. Business or leadership that I wish I had known earlier. Yeah, okay. For me, a very important learning along the way was that people and processes work hand in hand. Right? Previously, my mindset was you just need to get a few staff in, and they'll run the show. But actually, they need solid process as well.
Yes.
Right? Because these two things, if you combine them well enough, then good things can happen. Right? Because the people can leave anytime. And human beings, we're not perfect as well. But if we tie it up with good process, at least it covers our flaws and, it gives us a guide lah, on what's next and all. Yeah.
Actually, it's interesting that you said that. I think in business, right, I think something I always say in MOTD, people plus process equals to system. When you have a system, business can run without you having to be there all the time.
Yes.
So I think that's imperative lah. Something that if I had known earlier, I'll be able to do something much earlier lah, but it's okay.
Same for me lah, coach. This people plus process equals to success or systems, business systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lastly is this, bro. What advice can you share, especially to those younger entrepreneurs who want to start business out today? So the climate of business now is so much different from when you started 10 years ago.
Yep.
The way things are done is different. Internet obviously operates at a much faster pace. Marketing is done in a very different way as well. I mean, you have done very well in terms of managing all these changes, right?
Yes.
But for those who are starting out today, younger generation, what advice can you give them?
I will relate it back to how we started. So back then, to get people to know about us, right, we really had to. I mean, I had to actually print flyers, and I remember myself walking around the streets and giving flyers to people. Families, as long as I saw a family with a child, I gave the flyer to them. Right? One by one, I had to walk on a weekend. I did that. That was like almost 10 years ago. But these days, it's so easy to start anything because social media is such a powerful tool where you can use it to spread awareness, you can share good value, you can teach people so easily, and people are going to see you.
Yeah.
Right? Eyeballs are going to be there. Back then, the avenue wasn't there. So today, we live in an age where it makes things super simple, super convenient as well for people to start anything.
I see. So your advice to them would be leverage on what's available now, leverage on all these platforms, and go
all out. Yes,
Okay.
because there's so many platforms nowadays, and everyone is here. Guys, everyone is here. This is the gold mine nowadays. The attention of people is the gold mine that you can try and harness and leverage on, and again, spread value. Right? That's so important.
Cool, bro.
Okay.
So before we end today's session,
ending
just now-
already, ah? Okay.
Yeah, ending already. Just now you asked about how I started business, right? So let me just share with you a little bit. So I started business in the year 2000. 15 years of business, sorry, 20, first 15 years of business. It was pure experimentation, pure survival. Can you imagine 15 years? Okay. We were just doing whatever we could do. We had no innovation. We didn't look at what competitors were offering. We grew by word of mouth. Of course, our standards were very high in that sense. Still are today, but what I mean is because our standards are high, we have clients who are very happy and they recommend clients to us.
Yeah.
But that was the only way we could go. At the same time, the market was changing. Climate was changing. Accra, as we knew it, was only formulated during that 15 years as well.
Before that, it wasn't any
it was called something else. It was the
Singapore business something.
No, it was Registrar of Companies and Businesses.
Oh.
RCB.
Okay.
Yeah. So Accra was instituted during that 15 years. What else? The whole administration of the company secretaries was also done during that time. Anti-Money Laundering Act became very serious during that time as well. What else? The deregulation of audit for SMEs, the introduction of unaudited financial statements was also done during that time. So I honestly, in that 15 years, I faced a lot of change. There was so much changes that honestly it was difficult to keep up now. And regulations became tighter and tighter and tighter by the year.
Do you have a staff then to help you?
I did.
Okay.
So at one point, I remember my first employee, right? Then from there, we had a few more and came to a point where in the 15th year, for example, right, we actually scaled down the number of staff we had. So at one point in time, we had around 14 employees. But we were straddled with one very large job, which accounted for maybe 50% of our revenue. So the bulk of our employees were for that particular job. So we kind of let go of that job. So we had to reinvent ourselves and then restart. But that was a pinnacle moment for me, which was I got into an accident. So I was cycling to office. I don't remember at all what happened, but I got up in the hospital. Okay, and
conscious in between.
unconscious. Actually, according to people who actually helped me, I was fully conscious. I got up, I sat down, and
But you didn't remember.
a doctor came as well to the hospital to work. So she came, she helped, she checked on me and everything. I was just bloody all over, right? But I didn't remember it much. Someone I knew, a friend, was actually driving with his father to work. He spotted me on the ground. He stopped, So he took my bicycle and he brought it back home. So Alhamdulillah, there were a lot of people who helped me, but I can't remember most of what happened. Even in the hospital, when I came to, right, my own cousin Shahira was beside me. She was literally looking at my face, and I don't know who she was.
But you looked at her.
I was looking at her, I was thinking, my God, why is this woman like staring at me like that? No? And
Scary,
I can see
man.
all the blood on my shirt and everything. No? So
Delirium, This is called delirium, right?
I don't know, I think it's amnesia or something. I totally forgot everything, bro. Because the concussion was pretty bad. So, but the point here was, I was hospitalized for 9 days and I broke my left arm. I had concussions here, my face banged up everywhere, my teeth broke. It was a lot of small things which added up. So it's not one major problem lah. All small things added up, and then I was out of action for a while. But when my staff came to see me, I had a huge problem with that. Because I felt so useless at that point in time. I felt like I put them down. I've really disappointed them. I don't know how I'm going to pay their salaries at the end of the month. I don't know whether the company can continue on without me. I felt the lowest of the low I've ever felt. So that was the biggest, most painful day of my life. So at that point in time, I decided, okay, I'm going to start thinking how to run the business better. No? So I told one of my team members, please bring me my laptop now. I want to work something out now. Open up the laptop, bro. I couldn't read anything because my eyes were all bloodied, internal bleeding. So you can't even see my iris. The whole thing is just dark red. So I can't read. I can't do anything. So I just had to rest it out for 9 days.
9 days, huh?
9 days. Then I went home.
Was it like a mini coma or what?
No,
right?
No. It's just I blacked out. There was time that I lost. I lost some time. So I can't remember what happened. The point is, it really made me realize that I have to run a better business. I cannot, as you mentioned just now, these are people we employ. These are our team members. Ultimately, we can run whatever business we want, but we cannot put them down. So we cannot let them down. No. So that was the burn. So then I started planning again, like how to run the business better and everything. Then come up with processes.
Would you say that if you did not go through that moment, that things would not have been like what it is right now?
Definitely, bro.
So it would have been the same, relying on you and you and you.
Definitely. So it was painful at that point in time. I had to be in a cast for a good 6 months. My arm couldn't move. I couldn't carry stuff and everything. But despite everything, I think that was the best experience. Because it was
basically.
It was a huge blow, bro. I had to take, in order for me to take a step back and look like, this is not what I want to do. So I had to re-engineer how we do accounts, our offerings to clients, every damn thing, bro. So, and that's how, at the end of it, after 10 years after that, bro, everything has been running, everything is good. Now I don't run the business that much. I'm only in accounting bureau like 20%, just to make sure I'm there for my clients. That's it. The rest of it is all done by the rest of my team. Then I focus on MOTD. But in MOTD, I am sharing what I went through and the processes that I've built. I have perfected it into a syllabus
curriculum,
for our MOTD members. So there's a reason why I even do these MOTD retreats, right? Like 4 days retreats for business owners.
That's right.
I literally give them a book, 257 pages, plus the whole way on how to get it done for them. So if you don't go for this, I'll go through with you. You plan your next 1 year. There is no way that you cannot achieve something out of it. So that is how confident I am, because I had to go through this shit.
Yes.
I had nobody to help me also. I had to discover it myself. Then I know it works. After it works, I can prove it. Then I help others.
Yeah, that's what it means by an A to Z business owner. Right?
That's the pain that we have to go through. And I'm sure this resonates with you, because this is something that happens to, I think, all of us, lah, bro, in business.
There's a turning point, basically, where you decide to change things up.
Yeah.
Because at the start, you're always wanting to do it on your own. Like you are the main guy,
Yeah.
But you have to delegate and you have to let go at some point.
So true, man. And
It's a great story, man.
We need a good
Great
team as
story.
well, lah. So thank you very much for joining us for today's BCD. At the same time, I think we'll put in some links below onto your website, how to contact you as well, so that people can find out more about you.
Okay, that's
And
nice.
also, for those of you who actually have kids who are in primary school, secondary school, and you want to make sure they get the best for the maths, for the sciences, for the English as well, right? Irfan Mustafa is the guy you need to go and meet. I think you should meet him in person as well, right? And talk to him, right? And then check out how he does things for his students. And trust me, if he can actually help a visually impaired student learn mathematics and take PSLE, guys, this guy is a real deal. So I think you should go and meet Irfan and get the best help for your kids as well. So
Can I give a quote at the end?
Ken, I think you say your quote first, bro.
Okay, my quote is this, guys. A smooth sea never ever made a skilled sailor. So in life, you have to go through challenges, whether you're a student or a working adult or an entrepreneur or a businessman. All right, there will be challenges, and going through it will make you a skilled person or a skilled sailor.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
So that's it, guys. Remember, behind every successful business is a story told through numbers. And today we've heard from Irfan Mustafa from Mastermaths. And thank you very much, bro, for today's session.
Thank you, Coach.
So, thank you.